right, so here we have a juniper of some variety, some sort of volunteer juniper-ish shrubby bush tree thing, and it is covered in galls. Now these range in size considerably. This one is probably like 1.5 inches in diameter, and some are even, that one is really big, more like 2 inches. So upon discovering this and figuring out what this was, I have learned that there are things you can do to help treat your plants. Sometimes it's not really a concern if there aren't a lot of these galls, but I feel like there are here. But this is just a volunteer, actually it's something that I need to get out of here. It's right in my fence. So we're just gonna let this continue on with what it's doing. And if I understand correctly, we should see some interesting things happening when the spores come forth with the galls. So I'm just gonna kind of film this and let you guys see what happens. And we're just gonna use this as a learning experience. So it's been about 2 weeks since I filmed the original clip, and I'm not noticing much difference here. Maybe some of the galls are larger at this point, but I'm not noticing any of them opening up yet, or anything like that. So we'll come back and we'll continue to monitor these. So we're taking a walk down here to check out these galls on this tree, and I have learned some more since my previous footage. So my previous footage was last summer. Now it is March, and it seems like we have an early spring here. The daffodils are already in bloom. We're not even to the middle of March yet. But so in the information I have read, and I will link these different sources of information in the description of this video, so you can go there and read the actual information yourself. It did take me quite some effort to find, what this was and what the scoop was on all this. But in the information I have found, these galls have a 2-year cycle. So we should be approaching the 2-year mark, and spring, at some point in spring, is when the galls will open up and do that like yellow squiggly thing. So I want to get some video footage of what the galls look like now and let you see them in anticipation of them opening soon. Maybe the correct term is releasing their spores, I'm not sure. Now this tree, shrub thing, sprucey thing, it is really heavily laden with these galls. Now also it is growing through the fence. That hasn't helped matters. So you can see that part of it is kind of falling down here, but the other half is still standing well. And these things are just as big as ever. They are big, they are still firm, but it does seem that some of them have kind of a tip forming, and they are big. Look at this one. Is this, I don't know if this is considered 2 or 1, but like if it is 1, the diameter of that one is at least 2.5 inches. Really big. And the coloration, I would say, coming out of winter, they've got a little bit more of a silvery brown look, kind of like that new pink color, that recent pink color that has been a super big fad. Oh yeah, you can really see on this one the points forming. Oh, I think it's about to do what it's supposed to do, and they're not rubbing off. So it's still various sizes. They're still firm. They do give way a little bit with squeezing, but they're very firm. And the tree is just, it's engulfed. So also in this information I have read, in order for these spores to meet up with other spores to make this happen, there needs to be another tree doing this within so many feet. And I think it was like 100 or 200 feet, which I was thinking, if that's the case, then it has to be here. It has to be like within visibility for me, or within walking distance. So I'm just not sure. Yeah, I think it is definitely starting to do something. Some of them anyways. And as I've mentioned before, I'm just not really concerned about this tree. Actually, at one point, I tried to eradicate it, and it came back. Apparently, this is more of a cosmetic concern. Though, you know, like I said with the weight, I could see there being more issue to it other than just cosmetic, because you could have some damaged branches. I mean, there are a considerable amount of galls on this. But anyways, I think with these little sprouts that we're seeing, I need to get more frequent footage. So we're gonna come back out here again soon. Take a look at this. I still want to break a piece off. Let's break a piece off. Oh, I apologize for the road traffic behind me. This is one gall, kind of broke open, and it is, oops, there's the other half of it. It's like, it's not woody, but it is woody. It's almost like, it reminds me almost of like an unripe apple or something, like something along those lines. So there you have it. We'll come back soon. Okay, so I'm back again here. This is 8 days since the last footage, and it is not an ideal day to be filming, but because there's a lot of wind. But I wanted to show you, we've got a lot more of these little, like the last time there were these little spikes coming off of the galls, and there's a lot more of them. So it's happening, I would say. And they do have like a yellowish, brown, orangish hue to them. I'm trying to think of how to describe the texture. So it's not pokey. They're soft. Maybe the word is like rubbery almost. So I will bring you back again soon so we can follow these and the progression. Of these galls opening up or releasing their spores. Well, it's a rainy day here, and some of the information I read did say that the rain, the warm spring rain, really gets this whole process started with these opening up into this jellyish substance. And it is jellyish. Oh my goodness. It's like, all right, let me think what this is like. Wow. It really feels like gelatin. So I'm anticipating these to open larger. You can see we have various degrees of starting and opening. So anyways, we've had rain, spring rain, heavy spring rain for about 3 to 4 days. And I did read, oh, there, that piece just broke off. So what's interesting is that these are so firm, and you saw these galls are so firm, and you saw a little while back I broke one open and it was this hard white substance within, very, very thick and hard, and now it's this jelly. It's kind of cool. I'm not sure if I should be touching it. But it was just so hard to resist. I actually had premeditated maybe some gloves or something. Wow, so we will keep watching these. We will follow back up. Look at that one back there. I can reach it. Look at that. So this one has like these little tentacles. They're like, oh, some of them are like 3/4 of an inch long. Anyways, we will keep observing this. Now, up to this point, I had thought that this was, you know, totally harmless aside from for these little shrubby trees that this is on. More recently, I read in some comments on an article about how this can transfer to some fruit trees. Now, I do have fruit trees. I don't have any close to this. So I had actually started thinking maybe I need to eradicate this. But now it has already opened. So it is what it is. I will just take precautions. And we will just, yeah, hope it doesn't make it to my fruit trees. But still pretty cool, right? Pretty unique. So I will film this some more in a couple more days so we can get an even better perspective. Okay, so the last clip of film was yesterday. And today, it's not raining. I don't know if that's why, but everything is like gone, dried up. We're like, it's back to these rubbery little nubs. There is like a little more on some of these, but I can get this one. Even so, they're mostly all dried up. So is it the rain or is it over? I'm not sure. I was curious about what was going to happen next. It is a little cooler today. I think we'll just follow up on these another day. It's another day here with the galls. Still no more jelly-like orange, bright orange substances coming out, but these rubbery little tentacles are here. I found another article that said kind of this is what it does unless it's raining, and then at that point these little tentacles will become the big jelly orangey balls that we saw. So I think I was really fortunate to catch that scene because, you know, just the odds of it. But I'm also thinking I want to do a little experiment. So I'm going to tear a couple of these galls off. They're really on there. And it's still like a woody mass on the inside. Anyways, I'm going to tear a few of these off and I'm going to submerge them in water in the house and just see what these little tentacles do then, just out of curiosity. also read in another article, which I am going to link all these different articles in the description to the video, but read in another article that these were harmless for humans to touch and play with. So go ahead and do that. So now I feel a little more comfortable handling them. But also did some more reading on the rust fungus that can affect the apples and possibly other fruit trees, and how to treat that. Seems like I'm already using the measures to treat it. And it also did re-edify that a couple 100 feet radius is what, could spread to a fruit tree. So I don't have anything that close. This one has really long. So let's get this. Let's get a few. Oh, that one came off real easy. Okay, so I'm going to submerge these in water, and then we're going to take a look at them and see what they look like. So here I have the water. This is right from my well. It did not go through my softener or my filtration. Oh, they're floating. Well, that makes it a little harder to submerge them. But let's see anyways what comes of it. Maybe I'll flip them here. You can see that one that I broke off is already kind of oxidizing. It was greener. Okay, we'll come back and look in a little bit. So I submerged these in the water about 8 hours ago, and there is some change. The little tentacles are softer. This one especially, this one was longer. They're not quite as, maybe as plump as they were on the tree, or yeah, on the juniper. They're also not quite as, maybe translucent is the word. The color is still not quite there. I'm going to leave these in here overnight just for fun, because I have no reason not to. And I'll show you them again in the morning, just to continue our little scientific experiment here. So here we are back at these. It's been 24 hours roughly now since I submerged them in the water. And this one is closer than the other two to what they did look like in the natural rain. The other two are really nowhere close, even to the other ones that weren't quite open as far as these. This one does have a little more of the true color going on, but still not quite the same. The texture is slightly different. So anyways, fun little experiment. I believe this concludes the video on these. Do check in the description for the links to the articles that I have found. I'm going to continue to kind of monitor mine and see what happens. I'm curious now that their whole cycle has come to a close. Do they fall off? Do they stay there? So I'll continue to monitor them, and I will start filming that so you can also see. And thank you for watching. Share your comments with me. Tell me what you know. Tell me what you think. Again, definitely not an expert on this. I just figured out what they were, and wanted to check it out myself. So it's been a fun experience, a neat learning experience, and I hope that some of my footage has been helpful to you, and the links were helpful to you, and I thank you for watching.